Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about the Cisco outbound call flow, and in the next lecture I'm going to discuss about the Cisco inbound call flow, right? So we will start with Cisco outbound call flow, like what all are the requirements, what all are the things we need to configure for the outbound call flow. So let's start it. So first thing which you needed in the Cisco outbound call flow is your CSS and your partitions, right? So first thing which you need to configure is CSS and the partition. Why? Because these are the two main things which are required to make a call and to receive a call. So for the CSS, you can simply say CSS is required to make a call and partition is required to receive a call. But main funda of CSS is to restrict the users to make calls to particular destinations, right? So if your CSS is a none partition, like your CSS is showing as none, that means you can make call to anywhere in the world. But if you configure CSS, that means you are restricting that particular user to make a call to those particular locations only, right? So first thing which you need to configure is CSS and the partition. So what we will configure in CSS, we will configure two CSS. First is internal CSS, and next one we will configure as a second, that is a Pstn CSS, kind of this thing. It's just a naming convention in the CUCM, right? And same thing for the partition as well. So we will create two partitions, pt underscore internal, and we will configure another one, that is pt underscore pstn. So we will configure these two partitions as well. So we have configured these things. I will show you in the lab as well once I'm gonna configure it. But first I'm just covering the theory part. What all are the things we need to configure? Now, next thing for the outbound call flow, what you required, not the outbound, we can say just a call flow. What all are the things you need to require? So you need to configure this translation pattern as well. First thing, that is translation pattern. Second thing, you should have directory numbers as well, right? Because if it is an internal call, then that is also an outbound call as well. And for that internal call, you need this translation pattern and the directory number, right? After that, what you need to do, you need a route pattern to be configured, right? To make an outbound calls, you need to configure a route pattern. And after route pattern, you need to configure this route list. And route list contains route groups, and those route groups contains gateways, right? So you need to configure these things to make an outbound call, right? And on gateways, you need to configure PRI, right? So to make a configuration in a correct way, you need to first configure the gateways. You need to create a gateway. You need to configure the PRIs. Then you need to create route groups, because your route groups contains gateways. Your route group will create only when you add a gateway. And then you need to create a route list, because your route list contains route groups. And you need to create a route pattern, and your route pattern will create only when you add a route list in the route pattern. And your route pattern contains the partition as well. This is the most important thing in the route pattern, that is partition. And that's why we are creating this CSS and partition as well. Why am I saying CSS as well? Because your phone contains your phone line CSS and the device CSS. You should configure these two things on the line page and the device page of your phone, because due to this only you will be able to make a calls. And your this CSS is under this translation pattern as well. I will show it to you once I'll show you the lab environment, right? Because with the help of this CSS translation pattern will search it again once the number is transformed. And so we can say that it will send the call to the next level, that is directory number. right? So this CSS and partition plays a very important role in making an outbound call, right? So let's start it. Let me just log in on the CUCM and then I'll show you how we can create these things. So I'm gonna log in with my admin credentials so that I can show it to you what are other things we can create. One more thing which that we need to create as well, that is device pool. I forgot to mention it, so let me just mention it there. So we need to create device pool as well. So let's say we need to create device pool. And one more thing which we will discuss, that is SLRG concept, that is standard local route group. It's a very important topic, that standard local route group, and in every interview someone like interviewer gonna ask about SLRG as well. It is mainly required in India actually. So this standard local route group and device pool, we will also configure this device pool, and we will discuss about the standard local route group as well, right? So let me just create two things first, that is CSS and partition. For the CSS and partition, you can go to this call routing. I believe that's called routing. And then you can go to the class of control, and then here there you can see partition and calling search space. So to configure the calling search space, you should configure partition first. Why? Because you need to add those partition in the CSS. Let me show it to you right now. So let's just create these partition. So you can say this partition and CSS is just a naming convention. How you are using these things, that is the main thing which you require, right? So let me just create two partitions which we already mentioned earlier, right? So let me create partition. I'm just creating one partition, that is pt underscore internal. If you want to create multiple partitions in one go, just add the names here, and just like I just entered pt underscore internal, enter it, and then I'll just say pt underscore outbound underscore pstn, like this, and save. So in this way, it will create two different partitions. Like one is pt underscore internal, and the second one is pt underscore outbound underscore pstn. Let me just show it to you once I click on find. So after clicking on find, you will be able to see two partitions which is created, which I just discussed. Here you can see pt underscore internal and pt underscore outbound pstn, right? Now our next step would be to create CSS. So again, you need to go to this call routing, class of control, and then calling search space. So for the calling search space, you cannot add multiple CSS in one go, because you need to add partitions in individual CSSs, right? So let me just give the name here as CSS underscore internal, right? So description would be like internal calls CSS. You can leave it blank as well, right? So in this internal CSS, what I would add, I would add the internal partition which I just created, like this one, pt underscore internal, and then save, right? Now our first CSS underscore internal has been created. Like you can see, add successful. Now let me add a new one, that is CSS underscore outbound underscore PST. Let me add that one. So CSS underscore outbound PSTN. Let me just add the description, outbound calls to PSTN. Here, what I need to do, I need to add this PT underscore outbound PSTN as well as PT underscore internal. Why I'm gonna add this PT underscore internal? Because if someone is able to make a call to the outside world, then he or she should have access to make internal calls as well. So that's why we are just adding both these internal as well as outbound partition in this particular CSS. right? And then click on save, right? So now two things has been created already. That is partition, two partitions we already created. Second thing, two CSS already created, right? So next thing, I actually added at the last when I was entering those things, that is device pool. So for the device pool, let's just go to the system, and here you can see the device pool options, right? So just click on this device pool and add a new device pool, right? So device pool is required in case of SLRG as well. If I'm going to discuss about the SLRG concept, and to make your phones register as well, your device pool is needed, right? Let me just show you all the details on the device pool, right? So I just clicked on add new. Here it will show you many options. Like first one would be the device pool name. So let me just add the device pool name as DP underscore, let me say, not outbound, let me say DP underscore test. So it would be a test device pool, I know, right? After that, you need to add these Cisco Unified Communications Manager group. So now, as nothing is created, like Cisco Communication Manager group is not yet created, that's why it is just showing a default. But you can create this CUCM group, and this CUCM group contains your subscriber. If you have only two servers, that is one publisher and one subscriber, then you can add those two, publisher and subscriber, in that particular CUCM group. But if you have multiple subscribers, then you will create multiple groups, and every group contains, like, you will add primary and secondary subscriber, right? So once you create a group, you can add the subscribers, and with the help of this CUCM group, your phone will register, because your phone must contain the device pool. If you are not adding device pool, your phone will not add, right? If you are not adding device pool, if you're not creating any device pool, then there would be a one default device pool as well. It is already by default created by Cisco, right? So now we just added this default CUCM group. Device pool name is DP underscore test. Then the main things which you require, that is date and time group and region, right? Date time group, as of now, CM local, this one is a default, region is default. So if you want to create regions as well as date time group in the environment, you can create it first and then you can add it here, right? After that, you can see this thing, that is local route group settings. So as of now, you can see this standard local route group and it is showing none. And once you click on this dropdown, it is not showing anything, because it will show only once you add the gateways. It will show the gateways here in the SLRG. So we will discuss about this SLRG later on. So let me just add this device pool. Let me click on save so that our device pool will show as created, right? So let's just check it. It is saying it's successful. Click on the reset button to have changes effect. You can click on this reset, and device pool, as of now, it is showing 0 members because we haven't added this device pool anywhere, not on any phone, anything. Device pool is not added because we just created this device pool. Now our next thing would be to create the things which is needed for the internal calls as well as the external calls. Both are outbound calls, right? So the first thing which you need to create is translation pattern, right? So let's just create the translation pattern first. For the translation pattern, you need to go to this call routing, and under the call routing, you can see it here, the translation pattern is showing, right? Let me just click on this translation pattern. So let's just click on find, and we'll see whether we have already created translation patterns or not. So it is showing 0 records found. So no translation pattern is created. So let's click on this add new and create a new translation pattern, right? So for this translation pattern, it is showing you just need to add a pattern here. So let me just add a number that is 100 1. So this is the, we can say, this is not just a pattern, this is just a direct number, that 1001. So for the pattern, so let's suppose your company is having 1000, we can say, directory numbers, that is 1000 till 1999. It's suppose you have taken 1000 numbers from your service provider, and your service provider will give you like 647, a series like 6471000 to 6471999. That is 1000 directory numbers is given by your service provider to you, right? And now you are making 4-digit extension calling in your environment, right? So now you know you will have 6471000 to 6471999. So you can make 4-digit calling, you can make 3-digit calling. That depends on you, right? So let me just add a description as 4-digit calling plan. And I know I'm giving numbers which starts with 1 because the extension numbers would be 1000 to 1999. If somebody is calling 1001, 1002, 1003, 1900, then 1 would be the same, but the rest of the 3 digits would be different. So I'm gonna add a translation pattern as 1xxx. So anyone can dial from 1000 till 1999 by using this translation pattern, right? Now, description, let me just add a description as 4-digit calling plan, right? And the next thing, that is partition. So this partition, like if you remember, we created 2 partitions and it will show up here, like this PT underscore internal and PT underscore outbound Pstn. So if you add this PT underscore internal, that means every phone in my environment would reach this translation pattern. Why? Because I have just created 2 CSS, which both of those CSS contains this PT underscore internal partition. So that means anyone in my environment can reach this translation pattern with the help of this partition, that is PT underscore internal, because this PT underscore internal partition is already added in every CSS which is assigned to every phone, right? Now the next thing would be this MLPP precedence. That would be default, it is selected. Next thing which is required, that is calling search space. It is not mandatory, but you should select it because you're gonna transform the number as well, right? So CSS, here you will see 2 CSS underscore internal as well as outbound Pstn. Depends on your requirement, you can select. So now I'm just selecting CSS underscore internal here, right? After that, you will have these things, whether you want to route this pattern, block this pattern, provide outside dial tone, urgent priority. These are selected by default, but it depends on your company's requirement, your organization's requirement, whether you need outside dial tone or not, whether you make this translation pattern as an urgent priority or not. So it depends on you. So I'm gonna uncheck this provide outside dial tone as well as urgent priority, right? Next thing, you will have calling party transformations as well as cold party transformation, right? So as of now, I just added 1 triple X. That means this 1xxx contains 1000 till 1999. So I don't need to discard any digit. That's why this cold party transformation discard digits is showing as a grayed out. If I just added 1 dot here, that means it will show you this discard digit, right? So once you click on this one, it will show pre-dot. That means discard digits pre-dot. That means whenever someone is making a call, the things which are before this dot, it will get discarded. That is, in our case, it is 1. So I'm not gonna use this one. There are so many things, but I'm not gonna use this one, right? So I'm gonna use 1xxx, right? So now you're making a call to a 4-digit calling plan to a 4-digit number, that is 1xxx, but on the back end, it should be a E164 standard. That is a rule, there is no phone number which is assigned by 4 digits number, because every phone will show a 10 digits number, that is even 64 standard. So that means you need to transform this number. Right now, as of now, we can say these are 4-digit number, right? And we got the DIDs from our service provider. I just gave an example like 6471000. That is 7 digits number, right? But we should have 10 digits, that is even 64 standard. So now I'm gonna add prefix as well on this one. Prefix digits are for outgoing calls. So let's suppose this is for a location that is Gurgaon. So first would be like this is our country code. It will not get added in that even 64. Now +9, after first this +91, we should have 124. This is our area code, and then the number which we got it from our provider, that is 647. We got the number from our provider as +124 647 1000 till 1999. We got this number. So now I'm gonna add a prefix digits. So I'm just gonna add this one +91 124 647. And after that, once this digit is transformed, the whole new number would be plus, let's suppose user dial 1000, or you can say 1002. Then the whole number after transformation, it would be +91 124 647 1002, right? So this number would be this one. And let me just click on save. And if you want to make changes on the calling pattern transformation, then you can do that as well. Calling pattern transform mask, you can change it. You can add the prefix as well. That depends on your requirements. So let me, right now, let me just click on save, and then our translation pattern would show created as it is showing add successful, right? So now your new number would be +91 124 647 1002. But as of now, I know this is an internal number. This number should be showing in the directory number. After transforming this number, it will check it again in the translation pattern, whether it is having a pattern or not. So we should be having a whole new pattern for 10 digits calling, so that it will go to directory number, because it's not like everyone will make a 4 digits calling. Maybe you have some users in your environment, they can maybe they will just dial +91 or +012464711002. If you are not having any pattern defined in your CUCM, then it will not add a call. It will not route that call. It will not forward that call to directory number, right? So we need to create a new pattern as well. That is a new translation pattern as well, right? Suppose users, they know if they want to make a call, they need to make a call like 90124 and then 647 1002, right? So let me just add a pattern like this one, 9 dot, oh, sorry, 9 dot, maybe they're just adding like 124 647 1, and it can be any digit after 1, right? So I'm just adding 9.124.647.1002. That means it is creating this purpose, like if somebody is dialing 9.124.647.1002, it will hit this pattern. Partition, we can add the same description. It's not required, but you can add it if you want, right? And after that, CSS as well, the same things which we earlier discussed. I'm just gonna uncheck this, provide outside and urgent priority as well. If you want to make urgent priority, you can, it's not an issue. Then the next thing which you need here is discard digits. Now, if user is dialing like this one, 9.124, but you don't want to send this 9 as well, because it's not showing, it will not showing your directory number, then you need to choose pre-dot here. That means digits before this dot will be discarded. And then let's click on save, right? So now our new translation pattern has also been created. After this translation pattern, your call will go to the directory number, right? And You should have those direct, because if this is your internal extensions because you already purchased it from your service provider, that means this is your internal number, and your internal number should be showing in your directory number. You need to add it in your directory number, right? And if that is showing in the directory number, your call will land it to that particular number. For the directory number, you need to go to this again, call routing, and here you can see the directory number, right? So as of now, it will not show because we haven't added, but let's just click on find and we'll show you whether it's showing added something is added or not. So here you can see these are the directory numbers which are already added by default when I just created this lab. It was created earlier, I can say, right? But it's not a whole number which is showing added as a directory number. So you can go to this add new, and then because this is just a 4-digit number, it will not land any call. If somebody is calling from outside, it will not land on this number, right? So here, like I need to add the directory numbers as 647100002. Let's just not add 1999. Let me just add 6471005. Not more than that. Let's just say, or let me just add the area code as well. That is 124 here, 124, right? Route partition, let me just give pt underscore internal so that every CSS can reach out, right? Description, letting name as guy. If you want to add, you can just give it, right? So I'm just clicking on save, right? So after clicking on save, it will say add successful. Directory number it is showing, but let me click on this go. Here you will be able to see the numbers which I added. It will show here. Here you can see 124 647 1000 000 1 2 3 4 and 5. So if somebody is making a call by dialing 4-digit 1000 1001 2 3 4 5, it will land on this particular directory numbers which you can just see it, right? So this was the concept for internal call, but this is an outbound call in case of internal calls, right? Now, if we talk about the outbound call flow to the PSTN world, it's not an internal call, but it could be a PSTN call. For that, what you need route pattern, you need route list, you need route group, you need gateways, you need PRIs, right? And after that, once call is reached on the gateway, you should require the dial peers as well, right? You need to configure the dial peers as well to make call to the outside world, because the call will reach on gateway, but gateway should accept that call as well, right? So the call should land on the gateway. It depends on your configuration, how you are doing it in your CUCM, right? And after that, you need to create dial peers on your gateway, right? And then your gateway will accept the call, and then gateway will forward that call to the outside PSTN world, right? So let me just stop this video here, and then I'll discuss about this outbound call flow to the PSTN world in my next lecture. I hope you enjoyed this video, you learned something from this video, and be connected for the next video as well, right? So I'm just creating it right now. So next video will be uploading soon as well. If you learned something on this video, please let me know in the comment section so that I will get to know whether you like this video or not. And if you have any queries, just let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to my channel, then please hit like, share, and subscribe it, and press the bell icon so that you will get notifications of all my upcoming videos. Thank you.